So last night, I offered my girlfriend $200 to call all the work today and chill with me in the house. She said no deal. She said you got times that, times like 5.
A woman is dead and another woman is behind bars charged with her murder.
Police say when they arrived last Sunday night at May Street near Burbank and Walnut Hills, they found 33-year-old Diamond Rice suffering from a gunshot wound. She died at the scene. Court records state the shooting happened after an argument.
On the night of February 1st, 2026, a 911 call came through in Cincinnati's Walnut Hills neighborhood. The voice on the other end was panicked, breathless. "She's gone," the caller said. "She was going to kill me." But when police arrived at the apartment on May Street just after 10 p.m., what they found told a different story. Diamond Rice, a 33-year-old youth advocate who had dedicated her life to helping troubled teenagers, lay dead from a gunshot wound. And the woman who called 911, her girlfriend Jasmine Blake, had visible marks on her face but no serious injuries. No weapon was found near Diamond's body. So what really happened in that apartment? And why did a woman who survived her own troubled past to become a beacon of hope for others end up losing her life to someone she loved? If cases like this grip you the way they grip me, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Smash the bell icon so you never miss an update. And join us here at Shadow Crime as we dig into the stories that keep us up at night. Trust me, you're going to want to follow this one. Let me tell you about Diamond Rice, because her story matters. Diamond wasn't born into an easy life. Growing up in Baltimore, she had what her family describes as a troubled youth. The details of those struggles aren't fully public, but what we do know is this. Diamond found her way out through an organization called Youth Advocate Programs, or YAP. This wasn't just some program she participated in and moved on from. No, Diamond turned her entire life around and then decided to dedicate that life to helping other kids do the same thing. Think about that for a second. How many of us, after clawing our way out of darkness, would willingly walk back into it every single day to pull others out? That was Diamond. She became so good at reaching the kids that other counselors couldn't connect with that she rose to become assistant director of YAP's Hamilton County branch. She'd moved to Cincinnati about a year before her death, bringing her story, her strength, and her light to young people who desperately needed it. Her organization's director said Diamond was a powerful force, missed not just in Hamilton County, but nationally. Her family called her everybody's sunshine on a cloudy day. This wasn't just professional respect. This was love. This was recognition of someone who genuinely changed lives. And here's what gets me. On the very night she died, Diamond had spoken to her father, Scott Rice, around 8:30 p.m. They talked about a disagreement she was having with Jasmine Blake, the woman she was dating, the woman she lived with. Her father, sensing something in her voice, told her something that would haunt him forever. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, Diamond. So whatever it is, just fix it.
A woman is dead and another woman is behind bars charged with her murder.
Police say when they arrived last Sunday night at May Street near Burbank and Walnut Hills, they found 33-year-old Diamond Rice suffering from a gunshot wound. She died at the scene. Court records state the shooting happened after an argument.
Local 12's Chris Arnold spoke with Diamond Rice's dad, who talked about his daughter's legacy. Chris.
Well, yeah, Dwayne, Diamond Rice is originally from Baltimore, and her dad, Scott, says she moved here about a year ago with her girlfriend, Jasmine Blake. Now, Blake made her first court appearance on Tuesday after she was arrested and charged with murder in Rice's death.
She's very kind. She's always, trying to do for other people before herself. She was real intelligent.
This is how Scott Rice is remembering his daughter, Diamond. He says she had been on the wrong side of the law at one point, but changed her life around. And one way was by getting involved with youth advocate programs in Baltimore.
And so she started working part-time for YAP in Baltimore. And then it became full-time.
Scott says she later transferred to the location in Hamilton County and worked her way into the role of assistant director.
A lot of the kids they can't get to, she can. So she was good. She was good for that. She wasn't too old.
He says he spoke with his daughter around 8:30 last Sunday night. They had talked about a disagreement she had with the woman she was dating, Blake. At 2:30 the next morning, he got a knock on the door from police.
He started being a little nervous, right? I said, is it something bad? He said, yeah. He said Diamond was killed last night. He said, it was domestic. I said, Jasmine Blake? He said, yeah.
Honestly, I tried to reach out to Jasmine's mother because I know them, and I didn't get a response, but I just want answers.
The Rice family has received plenty of support in the days that followed. Scott says about 100 people braved the cold Saturday night to pay their respects and honor Diamond's life at a vigil held in Baltimore. Through the support comes a void left in Scott's heart.
It's going to start to really, really sink in that I ain't never going to talk to her no more. That I won't be able to tell her how proud I am of her.
Well, YAP Hamilton County Director Nate Lled said in a statement in part that Diamond was a powerful force at YAP and will be sorely missed here and across the country. He says she was passionate about her work as assistant director and her optimism was her superpower. Dwayne?
All right, Chris, thank you. By the way, Jasmine Blake remains in custody at the Hamilton County Justice Center on a $750,000 bond.
Less than 2 hours later, Diamond was dead. Now let's talk about Jasmine Blake, because understanding her is crucial to understanding what happened that night. Jasmine was 31 years old, working as a nurse while also pursuing her education. On paper, she and Diamond seemed like two women building lives, building a future together. They shared an apartment. They were a couple. And from what we can gather, the families even knew each other. Diamond's mother later said she tried reaching out to Jasmine's mother after the shooting because they were familiar with each other. These weren't strangers whose lives collided randomly. This was intimate. This was personal. But something was brewing beneath the surface, and we need to ask ourselves, what happens in a relationship when love starts turning into something else? What were those disagreements about? Diamond's father knew about tension between the two women. He'd literally just spoken to his daughter about it hours before she was killed. Was this a one-time argument that spiraled out of control, or had things been building for weeks, maybe months? Here's where the story takes a turn that should make all of us uncomfortable. When Jasmine called 911 that night, she told dispatchers that Diamond was going to kill her. She painted herself as a victim, as someone who had no choice but to defend herself. And look, I want to be fair here. Jasmine did have marks on her face. Her defense attorney made sure to point that out in court. There was clearly some kind of physical altercation between these two women. Jasmine's brother was apparently on a FaceTime call during part of what happened, though we don't know yet what he saw or heard. But here's what bothers me, and I want you to think about this with me. When police arrived at that scene, they found Diamond Rice shot to death. They examined the evidence. They looked at Jasmine's injuries. And you know what they didn't find? They didn't find any indication that Diamond was armed. No gun, no knife, nothing that would suggest she posed a deadly threat to Jasmine. The officers who responded noted that while Jasmine had marks on her face, there were no significant injuries that would indicate she needed to use a gun to protect herself. Ohio is a stand-your-ground state, which means you have the right to defend yourself without retreating if you reasonably believe you're in danger of death or serious harm. But the key word there is reasonably. A homicide investigator wrote in the criminal complaint that Jasmine used a handgun to shoot Diamond during an argument. An argument, not a life-threatening attack. Not a situation where Diamond had a weapon and Jasmine had no other choice.
Family and friends remembered the life of a Baltimore woman killed in Cincinnati, Ohio. Cincinnati authorities say 33-year-old Diamond Rice died after a woman shot her Sunday night. WJZ's Casey Baylor attended last night's vigil and shares how loved ones reflected on how Rice touched their lives.
Diamond Rice's parents describe her as loving and one of the smartest people they know. They say she moved to Cincinnati, Ohio to work for a national program that saved her life here in Baltimore years ago. Saturday night's vigil took place at her grandfather's church, and it brought a large crowd.
She was just a beautiful soul, taken too soon.
Despite the cold, dozens of family members and friends gathered outside New Shiloh Apostolic Temple on Harford Road in Baltimore, pouring out their love for 33-year-old Diamond Rice. Rice's mother, Wanda Summons, calls her the heart of the family.
A little genius. I always could talk to her.
Very strong, very beautiful, resilient.
Summons says her daughter lived a troubled life as a young person, though the Youth Advocate programs, also known as YAP, in Baltimore changed her mindset. Her parents say she moved to Cincinnati, Ohio, where she served as the assistant director for Hamilton County, Ohio's Youth Advocate programs.
Who wouldn't be proud of somebody who do that, who want to help somebody else, when she the one know how to help them?
Her father, Scotty B., says he spoke to Rice Sunday before she died about a disagreement Rice had with the woman she dated.
We talked for a little while. I said, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, Diamond, so whatever it is, just fix it.
Cincinnati's CBS affiliate reports police responded to a shooting the night of February 1st. They found Diamond Rice shot. First responders tried saving her life, but she died at the scene. Police arrested Jasmine Blake, charging her with murder. Court records say Blake shot Rice during an argument.
Honestly, I tried to reach out to Jasmine's mother because I know them, and I didn't get a response, but I just want answers from Jasmine on why did she do this to my daughter.
As family surrounds Rice's parents with support, they're reminded of her heart and how she created an impact across state lines.
She was everybody's sunshine, basically, in a cloudy day. I'm going to miss her a lot.
Online records show Jasmine Blake appeared in court Monday. Her bond was set at $750,000. Back to you.
But right now, with what we know, the evidence doesn't support the idea that Jasmine had no other choice. She could have left. She could have locked herself in another room. She could have called the police before pulling that trigger. Instead, Diamond Rice is dead, and Jasmine is the one who made that 911 call say her girlfriend was a killer, even though Diamond never had a weapon. We still don't know what that argument was really about. Was it jealousy? Money? Trust? Something that had been festering for months? Diamond's father knew they'd been having disagreements, but we don't know the depth of whatever was going wrong between them. And that's part of what makes this so haunting. Two women who were building a life together, who knew each other's families, who shared a home, ended up in a situation where one of them is dead and the other is facing murder charges. The investigation is still ongoing. Jasmine's brother was apparently on that FaceTime call during part of what happened, so his testimony could be crucial. We'll likely hear 911 call recordings eventually. We'll probably get more details about what forensic evidence was found at the scene. But no amount of evidence is going to bring Diamond back to the people who loved her, to the kids who needed her, to the parents who are now burying a daughter instead of watching her change the world. I keep coming back to what Diamond's father said. It's going to start to really sink in that I ain't ever going to talk to her no more. That's the reality of what happened on February 1st. Not just a case number or a court proceeding. A daughter gone. A voice for voiceless kids silenced. A woman who fought her way out of darkness. Snuffed out just when she was shining brightest. So let me leave you with some questions, because this case raises issues that go way beyond just Diamond and Jasmine. When does self-defense become an excuse rather than a justification? How do we recognize when the person we love is becoming the person we should fear? And what responsibility do we have to walk away from situations before they turn deadly, even when walking away feels impossible? Here's another one that keeps me up. How many arguments happen every single day in relationships where someone has access to a gun? How many of those arguments could have ended with cooler heads prevailing, but instead ended in tragedy because a weapon was within reach? Diamond wasn't armed, but Jasmine was, and that changed everything. And maybe the biggest question, what happened to all those kids Diamond was helping? Who's going to reach the ones that only she could reach? Who's going to be their sunshine on a cloudy day? If this case affected you the way it affected me, I need you to do something. Leave a comment below telling me what you think about self-defense claims in domestic violence cases. Share this video because Diamond's story deserves to be heard. And subscribe to Shadow Crime because we're going to follow this case all the way through trial. Justice for Diamond Rice isn't just about convicting or acquitting Jasmine Blake. It's about making sure we never forget the woman whose life was taken that night and the legacy she left behind.